Happy college football playoff semifinal Thursday. We've had Reaction Monday, Portal Tuesday, Ty Simpson announcement Wednesday.
Where's Pat? Colonel Reb's in here.
Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy,
gosh.
Pat. How you doing this morning?
Man, we are doing fantastic. We're looking forward to a wonderful game in Glendale tonight.
Oh.
A lot of kinfolk out there getting ready for the big game. Never been to the desert before.
No.
Hopefully get a big win tonight.
That's good looking. That's a good looking Ole Miss golf shirt.
We'll see if the Rebels can take care of business tonight. Still an underdog. A little bit later in the show, we will have Bet It or Forget It, the special college football playoff semifinal edition.
It's a big one. What's the standings right now? Just set the table for us, Pat. Paint the picture. Conrad's back, by the way.
Oh, hey, Conrad.
Conrad Van Order, ladies and gentlemen.
Conrad's wearing his A.J. McCarron Birmingham Stallions hoodie that
right.
A.J. gave him.
I get mistaken for him all the time now.
How you doing?
He's not doing well. He's not feeling good.
I can tell.
I've been better.
Do you have this stuff?
A little bit of that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
You got some.
let's stay away from him.
You got the thunder down under?
Got just a
Not
whole bowl of it all.
Yeah. Keep that door
You got
shut.
a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll slide you stuff under the door.
Think of it as a shepherd's pie of sickness.
Jeepers.
Well, I just know Landrum's a big shepherd's pie
Yeah,
guy
thanks. Something I eat. You're comparing it to your sickness.
FSU Dave, I've been told, makes a killer shepherd's pie.
It's amazing.
Well,
he
that
minces
comment
the
was
lamb
nothing
and
about
the
the
beef,
quality
of
and
the
he cooks
pie.
it with red wine.
I got something a little different working here.
Just stay out of here.
Stay out.
You should be at home.
Good to be back.
Yeah. Glad to have you back. All right, so the current standings are as follows. Through 90 games. 90.
90.
It's a good sample size.
You guys have picked 90 times this football season. Landrum Roberts, 46 and 44.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, you're making money.
I'm trying to compare it to a head coach's record. But
Conrad Van Order. It's like he didn't even pick this year. He's 45 and 45.
Ah,
So he's one game behind you.
one game behind. Okay.
One game behind you. Molly, unfortunately, she will not repeat as the champion.
That's okay. I'm like Ohio State.
That's okay. But
Won
see,
last year, but this year just not my year.
She's Ohio State.
But like you can just absolutely just be
I just have fun.
have fun with it.
Yeah.
Let your hair down, Molly.
My hair is down. Thank you.
Let your hair out. Put your hair up. Put it in a bun.
So we'll have two picks later on against the spread.
All right.
Now, I'm going to ask, I'm going to leave this up to you guys, how we want to do it. Do you want to do...
Same way we've done it.
Okay. All right.
Nothing changes.
The other thing that I was going to just say was that I didn't know if you guys wanted to pick the side and the total.
That was going to be your suggestion. So we have
my,
four
yeah,
things.
Yeah,
instead
my
of two?
suggestion was that...
No, I just want to.
Okay. All right. That's...
Well, of course he wants to.
Yes. Why would I want to change the game and give you more opportunities?
Because you're in it for the fun of the game.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely in it to win it.
He wants the trophy. He's already got one trophy this week. He wants another one.
That's right.
No, stop.
We're so proud of you.
Oh, I mean, it was about time since.
Yeah. They ran out of all the other employees.
They were going down the Excel spreadsheet. All right. Who has not gotten the award yet?
Yep.
Matter of fact, a couple of months they gave the award to people that don't even work here anymore.
Oh, I mean.
We're very proud of you,
kidding.
Landrum.
I'm kidding.
I loved coming back to work and seeing a picture of you with your mustache.
How about this? I walked in the building this morning, didn't even know, or yesterday, and didn't even notice it. They had to come
really?
and get me, and like, did you not see that when you? No, I did. Had no idea.
All right. We've got a busy show lined up. Our first guest is 11 o'clock. That's Rodney Orr from Tider Insider. Rob Pate, typically on with us on Thursday. He's actually doing doctor things today.
Yeah, he is. He's got a
texted,
meeting.
texted me and Landrum, and unfortunately, he will not be with us this week, so we'll try to catch up with him next week. Brett Norsworthy, live from the desert. Maybe he's already in the stadium. He will join us at 12 noon. He's on the call on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Knowing Brett is already, he had breakfast way, way early this morning, but he's probably already gone and seen 2 historical sites somewhere already this morning.
I think he's been there for a few days. We'll ask him what has been on the itinerary for Brett Norsworthy, one of our most popular guests on the show. So he'll be on at noon. John Talty of CBS Sports, he will join us at 12:30 because there's a lot of things going on in the world of college football. We've touched on some of those yesterday, but we're going to start with basketball last night up in Nashville, Tennessee, as the Alabama Crimson Tide took on the Vanderbilt Commodores, and Vandy on the cusp of being a top 10 team, depending on which poll you look at. They're undefeated at 14-0. Alabama went into the game a slight underdog. It was a 4-point spread when the game was tipped last night. But like we've seen under Nate Oates, when Alabama does not shoot at least their average behind the three-point arc, it's a problem. And that's what it was last night. They were 9 of 40 from behind the three-point arc. That's 23%. That is a season low. The previous low was 28% against UTSA. Now, they did win that game against the Roadrunners earlier this year. So Alabama did not shoot the ball well from the outside. Alabama did erase a 13-point deficit from the first half, but they were unable to capitalize. This was just an absolutely ugly officiated game on both sides.
What, 63 combined fouls?
It was just terrible.
88 free throw. The game was like 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's not fun for anybody.
Yeah. It was bad. But Alabama ends up losing to Vanderbilt last night. Alabama was led offensively by Amari Allen. He had a career-high 25 points. The Tide had 3 others achieve double figures. Aiden Holloway, 22. LeBaron Philon, who left the game for a while with full body cramps. Have you ever had full body cramps?
No.
I've had
I've never had
cramps.
never full body where I can't.
That's the way it was described, was it not? Full body cramps.
Yeah, Nate Oates was not happy about it.
Have you had full body cramps before?
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I haven't either.
Nate Oates was not happy about it.
Essentially, in the sense of
It could have been prevented.
well, just his not verbatim, but essentially what he said is, "How do you get full body cramps when you haven't even played 20 minutes?"
You know what?
That was basically what he said.
I agree with Nate Oates.
Not to mention the fact that you've got, you name it, every type of potassium-filled drink. You've got IV access.
Whenever I've gotten a cramp, whenever I have gotten a body cramp, I've immediately thought, I have not hydrated enough. I have not done
Bingo.
enough. This is on me. This is not something external.
Did you say pickle juice?
Pickle juice.
Eat a banana.
Powerade, Gatorade, banana, IV. I think there's a multitude of things. But anyway.
So he just, okay.
Philon, who leads the team in scoring, he was absent there. I forgot what time he went out of the game last night. Was it 8-9 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play very much in the second half.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
He did finish with 18 points, but Vanderbilt had 5 starters reach double figures, led by Tyler Tanner's 29 points. He had a really good game. So Vanderbilt's now 15-0, 2-0 in the SEC. That is Vandy's first win against Alabama in Nashville since 2018. So it's been a minute since they have beaten the Tide in Music City. So Alabama falls to 11-4. They're now 1-1 in the SEC. They've got Texas, the Longhorns, coming up Saturday at Coleman.
Yeah, and they should be able to handle Texas and kind of get back into things. And it's the SEC schedule. That was never going to be an easy game. Mark Byington did a wonderful job. And I love those Vanderbilt home jerseys. That's a good look. Love the font.
Yeah, it could always be worse. You could always be Kentucky.
Yeah, by the way, Brian Edwards, very, very good call on his picks last night. He liked Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
They covered.
How about this? And I did not touch.
He liked Mississippi. He liked Missouri plus the points at Rupp. And
so,
they won
do you remember what the points was he mentioned yesterday in that game?
Yeah, 13.
Okay, it was 13.
Missouri plus 13.
Because yesterday morning, I did not look at it after Brian was on, but before Brian came on, it was like 9.5.
Okay, I said it was 13.
No, it was because the game
Kentucky
tipped
was
off.
a 13-point favorite.
It tipped
was
off.
wild.
It tipped off at 12.5. Kentucky was a 12.5 point favorite, and I was so tempted to take Mizzou, but because I didn't have enough time to really do enough research, I was like, okay, that tells me that maybe Missouri had a player or two, that might have not been able to go last night.
Questionable, or were
just something was
80%.
going on. And I was like, I'm not touching it.
But when he said that, I think it was when he was going out and we had the back timer on, when he said, oh, yeah, and by the way, I like Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And then that went, wait, that line with that Kentucky
Yes.
team?
Now,
And Missouri, what?
The game tipped off, and Kentucky was a 12.5-point home favorite against Missouri.
Man.
And Missouri
Hopefully a lot of people loaded up on Missouri.
wins the game. So it was a crazy night last night in the SEC. You had Arkansas beating Ole Miss 94-87. So Arkansas will be at Auburn this weekend. They're 12-3, 2-0 in the SEC.
They're good.
Calipari doing the magic again. Ole Miss now 0-2 in the SEC. We mentioned the Missouri win against Kentucky. That was a 5-point win. And Mississippi State, man, they're good.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Josh Hubbard, love watching him play.
Yeah. They took care of Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a good basketball team. Oklahoma was 11-4 on the season coming in last night to the hump. And Mississippi State wins by 19. It's a big win for Mississippi State. So that was your SEC docket last night. Unfortunately, for the UAB Blazers last night, it was kind of a cool giveaway. They gave away an Andy Kennedy retro T-shirt. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, UAB could not overcome kind of just some really bad shooting from the outside. Defense was not very good. UAB loses 76-71. They struggled from the free throw line. They only hit 20 of 28 from the charity stripe last evening.
What was FAU's final stat line 3-pointers?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me. But UAB took the lead with 6:35 to go in the game. And then they ended up losing. FAU went on a 15-4 run to finish the game. So Blazers now 10-6, 1-2 in the American. They are on the road Sunday in Greenville, North Carolina to take on East Carolina. So.
FAU, by the way, was 9 of 32. I know that they
started out like much better than that. They kind of finished on a fade. They had opportunities to really, really put that game away, and UAB also had opportunities to potentially, obviously they took the lead with 6:35, and they were unable to do so. So
FAU's not bad though. So if you're UAB is going to be fine. I like this team.
I think the American is wide open.
Yeah.
So that will make for an interesting postseason tournament because that's what will have to happen for any team in the league. It will be a one-bid league. So
I'm not betting against AK come tournament time.
No. I mean, it's in this new age of college basketball and college football, it takes a minute. I mean, when you put a roster together, I'm not making excuses. I mean, this goes for every college basketball team now. You're basically looking at a roster of 10 to 12 brand new souls on that basketball team.
Who are really, really talented and all think that they should get the ball every single time down the floor.
Yes. And then all of a sudden.
Figure it out, guys.
I mean, Andy Kennedy last night after the game was talking about how one of the players that showed out at South Florida had been on the scout team. And then he liked his attitude, and so he put him on the regular practice squad. He wasn't on the scout team anymore. Then he had that great game at South Florida, and then he disappeared last night. Not like physically disappeared. I meant like did not.
They're still looking for him.
Yeah, he was not contributing.
He got lost in Bartow.
Yeah, kind of tough in that building. But so anyway, that was kind of a bummer night last night for Alabama and UAB, both losing on the hardwood. When we come back on three-man front, we got tons of portal information, tons rolling in for both Alabama and Auburn. We'll give you the very latest there. This is three-man front on Thursday on Jocks. So we've got the college football playoff semifinal number 1 coming up out in the desert as the Ole Miss Rebels taking on the Miami Hurricanes. As the point spread in this game continues to be Miami is the favorite tonight in this game against the Rebels. Currently, it's a 3-point spread for Miami. Over-under is 52.5. It was very interesting. I accidentally came across the ACC network last night because that is not one of my mainstays. I don't think anybody in America watches the ACC network, but they were live last night in Glendale, California, and they were kind of previewing the game, and lo and behold, Jimbo Fisher, who is one of the main voices for the ACC network, had this to say about Lane Kiffin.
It's selfish. That's what it is. It's stupid. And because here's why I say that. He wanted to coach and thought he didn't get his way. So everybody get on the plane with me, you don't have a job. All right? And he makes them all go. Then he gets down there and takes a PR hit because it looks bad that you really don't care about the kids. Then he says, okay, you can go back. But here's where he screwed up.
He thought they were going to lose.
He thought they were going to lose to Georgia,
Exactly.
and then the portal thing was all over with, and it was going to be all over with. And he said, "Okay, I'll look like a hero."
Yeah.
Now he's got egg on his face because the real Lane came back out. You know what I'm saying? And if those guys were allowed to coach the first game, they should be allowed to coach the fourth. Because those kids are doing something that you get one time in your life to ever do.
Literally.
That team and those guys one time. And as a coach, listen, I know I've left a job. I get that. But if you took them on and said they're never coming back, that's fine. You set the rules of the game. You don't change the rules in the middle of the game. And as a coach, it's hurting the kids, and it pisses me off. People don't realize this. Charlie called the plays.
Right.
Yeah. Lane did not call the plays. I'm not saying he didn't call all of them,
Sure.
but he called the game, so they got him back. But if he let him go the first game, he should let him go. Now, go recruit during the week. We can Zoom call the players, have my meetings, but they should be here at the game coaching.
But isn't that so hard, though, to balance both?
If you really give a damn about your kids.
Right.
Boom.
I don't know if I've ever applauded Jimbo Fisher, but all of us are giving a nice round of applause. Major kudos. One, somebody actually has an opinion on one of the SEC on the ESPN networks outside of Paul Feinbaum.
Well, you
and
actually
Stephen
have
A.
a
Smith.
coach, a college football coach that's going to come out and say what everybody else is thinking.
That was brilliant.
I love it.
I mean, I'm sure everybody in Baton Rouge are tweeting and railing on Jimbo Fisher and all that fun stuff. But I mean,
But that was the perfect guy to ask because of the history between the two, the whole sliced bread. And remember all that good stuff.
I didn't applaud him when he attacked Nick Saban.
Well, no.
But
it's
I'll-
not like Jimbo has. No, he has taken plenty on this show.
Yeah.
But I agree with what he said there.
Oh, man, it was beautiful. It was fantastic. And he's absolutely right. First off, Lane had no idea, did not think that Ole Miss was going to, after the Tulane game, no chance that they were going to beat Georgia. None.
Mm-mm.
And
to be fair, I didn't either. I don't think many people thought.
See, but do you think that's even if I'm there, we don't have a chance against Georgia? Or it was without me, they have no shot against
No,
Georgia?
I think that Lane looked at this team versus that Georgia team, and he had already seen enough and thought, there's no. But to your point, in addition, and they're surely not going to win that game without me.
I could just see that being where he comes. Without me, they're nothing.
so I think Lane's plan was the following. Okay, they're going to get beat by Georgia. And the moment that game ends, he is going to swoop in, and he's going to get Lacey. He's going to get Chambliss. He's going to get the punter. He's going to get the long snapper. He's going to get anybody that he wants to absolutely take that knife and shove it even further in Ole Miss's gut and twist it as much as he possibly could. That was his plan. Funny thing happened out of the Sugar Bowl that night. Ole Miss won. So then that created a whole different set of problems for him because his number one quarterback that he was going to get was Chambliss. He was no longer available. And then, okay, well, I'm going to get Sorsby. Well, $3.5 million is not going to get it now.
Oh, I'm going to get Sam Levitt.
Well, Sam Levitt was on Rocky Top yesterday.
Oh, and by the way, he's extended his visit until Friday.
Yeah. How about that?
You usually stay somewhere three days if you're not seriously considering going to school there.
So then immediately Lane
Or
pivots to start
football.
tampering with Washington's signed quarterback. It's going to get him in trouble. So, major kudos to Jimbo Fisher for him speaking the truth last night on the ACC network. Because he's right. Lane Kiffin wasn't calling the plays. I mean, if you look on the sideline it's not like Hugh Freeze on the sideline. Like, you knew Hugh Freeze was calling plays for Auburn. That was not the case with Lane Kiffin. Now, Lane Kiffin, obviously, on certain downs and distances or third down conversions or maybe going for on fourth down, perhaps he was involved in that decision making, but it was Charlie Weiss Jr. He's the one making the calls.
It was, and it's not like, and Jimbo, he didn't elaborate, but he did say, I'm not saying he didn't call some of the plays. Now, Lane, I will say this, of people, and you know this as well as I do, Pat, Lane Kiffin is absolutely respected amongst college coaches as far as play calling ability and devising game plan against certain defenses. But I did think it was important that Jimbo Fisher pointed out that this particular team, Charlie Weiss, is calling most of the plays.
Well, it's just kind of funny that that's being called out because it was a couple years ago that Lane was that Kevin Steele's not calling the defense at Alabama. That's not how that works. We know how things really work.
No,
we know how things really work.
I know that Pat doesn't feel this way. I just don't want our listeners to think that we're totally crapping on Lane Kiffin as a football coach, not as a person.
I'll raise my hand. I'll stand up.
You don't think he's worth the salt as a football coach?
As
far as his offensive prowess.
No, I mean, I think he is a from an offensive point of view, yes. As an overall football coach,
no. I was just going from the offensive angle.
Offensive angle, yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, give me the evidence of him.
A leader of young men, no.
Yeah, or actually winning a game of consequence.
Dog owner, no.
Pete Golding's done it.
Yeah.
I know. I might go buy me an Ole Miss shirt from the thrift store.
So speaking of Lane Kiffin at LSU, they did get a commitment this morning from former Auburn linebacker Malik Blockton.
All right.
And supposedly right now he is licking his chops as I believe Russaw and Smith are both the Alabama defensive lineman team that they are in Baton Rouge right now visiting with Lane Kiffin. So they could be Bengal Tigers before the end of the day. Speaking of the portal, let's go Alabama first. Cam Coleman is still trending to make a late visit this week to Alabama. He's currently at Texas Tech. He's already made visits to Texas and Texas A&M. The current expectation is that Coleman will wrap up his visit with the Red Raiders today. He will travel home to Phoenix City, Alabama. From there, he's expected to be in Tuscaloosa sometime this weekend. Alabama, they are turning their sights to a huge offensive tackle. I've told you about him before, Jacarius Peak. He's coming off a visit from Texas A&M. Sources tell On3 that South Carolina and Alabama are the two teams to watch for his services. Meanwhile, a young man that both Landrum and I, we covered when he was in high school at Vestavia Hills High School, former Tennessee edge rusher Jordan Ross, who was an outstanding athlete, incredible at Vestavia Hills High School. He is lining up visits. He's in the transfer portal. He was at LSU yesterday. He's expected to visit Alabama this weekend.
Yeah, he was an outstanding player, as Pat mentioned, getting to watch him play and kind of, I guess, quietly because the attention is normally on the offense at Tennessee, and their defense wasn't particularly good. But you go back and you look at Jordan Ross and what he's been able to do in 2 seasons, very impressive. He'll be a good addition for an SEC team.
Just the athleticism, just
for sure.
Like, you watch, you were talking about Crowell, the running back for Alabama, and you've been able to cover him during the championship.
You just know when you see it, and this is just different.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when I watch Jordan Ross on a football field, it's just like when I watch LeBron Ray when he played at James Clemens, like got to play him in the playoffs a couple times, and you're just like going, oh my gosh, like
it's those guys
that they just have it.
Yeah.
You just know
kind of separate themselves.
Yeah, and Jordan Ross is one of those guys, and not really sure what has happened or not happened at Tennessee, but he supposedly is going to be looking at Alabama this weekend. Former Mercer defensive back Carmelo O'Neal, he's also visiting Alabama today. He's also going to take a look-see at Auburn, LSU, UCLA, and Kentucky. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. He had a strong sophomore season for Mercer. He registered 38 tackles, 9 passes defended, and had an interception. So Alabama looking for a little bit of assistance there in the secondary.
I got to think about this. If I was going back, just the whole portal world that we live in now, But going back to my college days, if you told me, all right, you're going to spend your first two years of college here, but then the transfer portal was available to us as students to go and enjoy college life somewhere else, I think I would have. I think I probably would have explored going and seeing what it was like for a year on another campus. What about you guys?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, be a cool experience.
Yep, you have the opportunity, go.
Go to school at Ole Miss for a year
for $500,000. Sign me up.
You kidding?
No kidding. Alabama today will host LSU offensive lineman DJ Chester for an official visit coming up today. So Rodney Orr will join us at the top of the hour. So we'll get a rundown of everybody that is looking at Alabama currently out of the transfer portal. Meanwhile, Auburn, kind of a quiet day after a flurry of activity at the first part of the week. Stanton Rammel, the 6'7", 312-pound offensive lineman, the Alabaster native who played at Thompson High School. He agreed to play at Auburn next season. Meanwhile, there's some players of note that Auburn Undercover has pointed out that they're looking at right now. Wide receiver Noah Rogers from NC State. He's 6'2", weighs 193 pounds. He arrived Wednesday and spent time with new quarterback commitment Byron Brown, amongst others. So that's someone to keep your eye on. Also, offensive lineman Tegra Shabola from Ohio State, 6'6", 327. He was a 2-year starter at guard for the Buckeyes. He completed his Auburn visit yesterday afternoon. He's planning to visit Kentucky next. So that's a name to keep your eye on. And also running back Bryson Washington from Baylor. He's expected to visit Auburn today. He's also considering Texas A&M and Tennessee.
Another guy that Auburn fans have been watching, wide receiver from USF, Keyshawn Singleton. Yes, there's another wide receiver. He was in Auburn last night on his visit. He was putting stuff out on social. His announcement is expected sometime tonight. Auburn feeling good about that one. And also a former Ohio State wide receiver, Mylan Graham, who is listed as a 4-star in the transfer portal, a wide receiver. He's got 4 visits set up. One of them is to Auburn. So Auburn continuing to try to fill out that wide receiver room.
So right now, according to 247 transfer portal rankings, Auburn ranks 12th. They have 12 commitments. 10 of the 12 commitments are from South Florida. No big surprise. So we'll see who else they add to that mix. When we come back, we'll open up the phone lines. We're open until 11 o'clock. We'll also take your text messages on the Courtesy GMC text line 205-834-9450. It is 10:33. Welcome back in on this three-man front Thursday. College football playoff tonight, 6:30 kickoff. You can hear it right here on Jocks as the Ole Miss Rebels. I was just looking at a video clip. Dan Orlovsky says Ole Miss is America's team. That's what he said. Did he not say that, Molly?
No, he did. I showed it to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting that with the storylines that we have with this college football playoff, that Indiana has now become kind of the expected, and Ole Miss is the darling of the national folks.
As they should be.
But why would they not be?
Yeah.
Those kids have been put through hell.
They have been. Overcoming adversity. What does Indiana overcome?
An ugly divorce there at Ole Miss that those kids have been put through.
I mean, seriously, Indiana's
cold weather, bad history.
I was about to say the losing history in college football.
It's like this. Those kids in Indiana have no idea how bad that program was, just like those kids at Alabama have no idea what Alabama used to be with Nick Saban.
Very good point.
They don't care. They don't think about it. It means nothing to them.
What did I say?
This is a good and this is a good reminder to fans who want to go and do drastic things when things don't go well. Just remember, that some of those kids don't care near as much as you do.
No, they don't.
Also remember that flu season is here, so make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. It removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. It's 100 times more effective than standard air filters and 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. So go and find a dealer near you at Trane.com.
So we haven't had an opportunity to ask Conrad. The big story yesterday was Ty Simpson announcing that he is foregoing any eligibility at Alabama. He is going to try his wares at the NFL circuit. You happy about this? You think this is a good move for Ty in Alabama?
I think this was the best outcome for all parties involved. It avoids a very awkward situation that could have potentially arose there. So, no, I think it's great for Ty. I know there's been some rumblings that maybe Dante Moore is considering a return to Oregon for another year. In which case you would probably be the second quarterback taken. So either way for him, I would expect him to be a second half of the first round guy. And if you're a first round pick, then go for it. And I think similarly for Alabama, it prevents you from having to make an awkward decision, which I ultimately think they would have elected to probably let Ty shop his services around. And let's be honest, Alabama would have looked like the bad guy if they wanted to move on from Ty after everything he went through. So now you don't have to do that.
You don't have potentially a divided locker room.
No, and yeah, exactly. You move forward, and now you're going into your third year if you're Kalen DeBoer. You got a lot of pressure on you, and for the first time, you have your quarterback that you recruited that fits your vision and your style of offense, and you let it rip.
So Simpson's father, University of Tennessee Martin football coach Jason Simpson, said his son received first-round grades from every NFL general manager they contacted. Quote directly from Jason Simpson, nobody said second round, end of quote. Here's a point of reference there. For those that do not know how this works, I believe it's 5 players per team. Like, you can submit information or information gathering to the NFL. And so what the NFL does is they will then provide you with the following. You're a first round, second round, or they recommend that you have to go back to school for another year. So I find it interesting that quote in which Simpson said he received first round grades from every NFL general manager they contacted. Well, if you get the information from the NFL doesn't tell you that, hey, 17 general managers said that your son's going to be a first-round pick or whatever the case may be. It's kind of a, okay, the information we have, he's going to be a first-rounder or he's going to be a second-rounder. So the family might have called one general manager, and that general manager said, yes, he's going to be a first-round.
I also, I go back to last year, and you had some guy, not just Shadur, but that's the big one, but you had some guys that were expected to go a lot earlier in the draft than they ultimately did, and I feel like some teams now have started to.
Well, just think about Will Levis. I mean, we have got a nice body of work here.
Yeah.
Over the course of the last couple of years, where they've really missed on these quarterback projections, where these guys were in. And listen, I'm not saying that what Jason Simpson said is inaccurate, but you have to read between the lines when he says His son received first-round grades from every NFL general manager they contacted. Well, you don't know how many they contacted.
Well, and also the obvious question too is, well, who are you contacting? Like, because if the Chiefs GM is telling you, oh yeah, you got a first-round grade, well, they're not taking you. They got Patrick Mahomes. Like, is the Steelers GM telling you? Is the Dolphins, like the teams that you know? Okay, that's a team that could be looking for a quarterback. That would really be the ones that I cared about.
Jason Simpson also went on in an article that was published by ESPN.com, and he said that his son had offers to transfer to other Power 4 schools. Sources previously told ESPN that Miami, Oregon, and Tennessee were interested in signing Simpson if he had entered the transfer portal. ESPN NFL draft analyst Mel Kiper Jr. ranks Simpson as the third best quarterback, but as we've talked about the last couple of days, Fernando Mendoza will be absolutely the first quarterback taken. But now there's some questions whether Moore at Oregon is going to come back for another season. He had Joel Klatt on his podcast, ranting and raving, saying that Moore should come back to college for another year. But he has not yet declared what he's going to do. Todd McShay, you can say what you want to about Todd. Todd has covered the draft for a long time. He was kind of running buddies with Mel Kiper Jr. until ESPN fired him. Now he does his own podcast. He has his own service that he still puts out information. This is what he said yesterday on his podcast in regards to Ty Simpson.
Deep ball accuracy was a concern, but it wasn't all drops. There were more off-target throws on deep balls than there were drops, if you're looking at just the incompletions, and I have. And then finally, the ball security. We talked about the 5 straight games with fumbles inside the pocket. So there's a lot of pros. There's an absence, though, of an elite physical trait. And then there's this final stretch of the season that you have to really do some deep digging into to try to figure out, is it circumstantial or is this going to carry over to the NFL?
And he points out that he only had 15 starts.
Well, and so I brought up the comparison this morning, and I'm sure there's been more recent ones, but I always go back to the narrative around Ryan Tannehill when he left Texas A&M, because that was the thing with him. I know he had to change positions and stuff, but it was he played 1 year as a starting quarterback, and you were going to draft him in the first round based on that. Now, granted, he ended up having a pretty solid career, all things considered, but that's just kind of where I go with Ty is he probably needs to go somewhere where he can sit for a year or two because he hasn't played that much football, which in one sense is good. You're not as banged up and you have more room to develop, but he just needs more. I think he needs more time to develop. And I will say this, the last 2 years, Cam Ward declared for the NFL draft. He ended up playing another year of college. Carson Beck ended up declaring for the NFL draft. He ended up playing another year of college. I know that the window's kind of tight and the schedule's changed with the portal and all that stuff, but just saying, both those quarterbacks were going to go to the draft, and they ended up going to Miami and making a lot of money. So
I did a little research. Here are some notable NFL quarterbacks in regards to their college starts. Now, these are guys that had been drafted, okay? So Bo Nix had over 60-plus starts at the college level.
That's good.
It's really good.
Coaches like that.
You have 2 quarterbacks, Cam Ward and Jaden Daniels, had 50-plus starts at the college level. How about 40-plus starts? Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy, Michael Penix Jr., Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and Jackson Dart. Those players had 40-plus starts. How about 30-plus? Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams, and Jordan Love. Those quarterbacks had 30-plus. How about under 30? There's been 2 outliers, and they're big ones.
Is Mahomes and Allen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mahomes had 29 starts at the college level. Allen had 25. And Ty Simpson had 15.
See, and that's still almost double what Ty had, and that's even, that's But hey, look, somebody's going to fall in love with him. I'm sure they will.
Why are you trying to talk him out of it? You wanted him gone to begin with.
No, I do want him gone. I mean, I still want him to be happy and, have success, but yeah, I don't want him. Yeah, I want him to be gone.
You're so mean.
I just think it's in everybody's best interest.
No, I agree with that. I know I'm giving you a hard time, but
I think he will. Again, he seems to have a good head on his shoulders. He's a coach's son.
Mm-hmm.
He's loyal. Again, there's a lot of things that people will love about Ty Simpson. You just hope that, again, like with any quarterback, maybe it'll be good for him, right? Because if you're Mendoza going to the Raiders, you're Dante Moore going to the Jets, like you're kind of dead on arrival, it feels like, right? So now if you're Ty, maybe you end up in Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers says, I'm going to run it back for one more year. Or the Rams. Like, you could end up in a really, really good spot for Ty. So, wish the best for him and excited to watch Keelan Russell play next year.
Well, APS has been around for 4 decades. Alabama Professional Services. They've been the trusted choice for pest control, termite protection, lawn care, and fertilization, and more. They're certified statewide teams of APS. They're experts. They're friendly, efficient, and reliable. You need to call them today, 205-951-9717. Whether you're looking to safeguard your home from pests or keep your lawn healthy and green, APS delivers custom solutions backed by dependable customer service. Get started today. Call them at 205-951-9717. Birmingham, Montgomery, Huntsville, surrounding communities. Call today to request your free, no-obligation estimate. Go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. We continue on this Thursday edition. Rodney Orr coming up at the top of the hour. This is Three Man Front. You remember yesterday on the program, we were talking about the interesting situation that is John Harbaugh, who was fired by the Baltimore Ravens after they lost to the Steelers on Sunday Night Football, didn't make the playoffs. The rub was supposedly that Lamar Jackson does not like Todd Monken, and Harbaugh was going to be loyal to Todd Monken. And obviously that was just a marriage that needed to end, and it did. So the statistic yesterday that everybody was talking about was Harbaugh's agent, who I believe is Kevin Harlan's brother.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Your favorite.
I do love Kevin Harlan. Yeah. Kevin, if you're listening, hey, hope you're doing well. Can't wait to hear you during basketball.
Okay. So Harlan's brother, the agent, he did an interview, and he said at the time there were 6 openings, right? 6 openings in the NFL, and 7 teams had called him. And so everybody started speculating, okay, now, so what NFL team's about to fire their coach? Because obviously somebody is very interested in John Harbaugh because they reached out to Harlan, who's the agent of John Harbaugh. Well, we found out this morning because Mike McDaniel has been fired by the Miami Dolphins.
There you go.
And because the owner, Mr. Ross, is one of the biggest donors to the University of Michigan, who is really close with the Harbaugh family. So I think a lot of Giants fans are a little bit upset this morning because they've been thinking that they're the team to beat, to take over and have Harbaugh come in as their head coach. But now your favorite coach, Mike McDaniel, will no longer be on the sideline wearing those sunglasses, vaping, and wearing those capri pants.
Yeah, he always kind of creeped me out a little bit when
just a little bit
when they would flash over to him. Yes, a pretty good bit.
Was it the Buffalo Bills game? Was it last year where he was vaping, where he was trying to hide it?
I think there's multiple, but yeah,
where he was vaping during the game.
There was one where it was kind of went viral a little bit. Look, I think he's a really good coach. I don't think he needs to be a head coach. I think he's one of those guys that squarely fits into probably have a really great career as an offensive coordinator. He just doesn't, I don't know. He just doesn't strike me as a head coach.
No.
Like, he strikes me like if he was a dad, he's like the I want to be your friend dad, not the I'm going to help raise you into an outstanding citizen dad.
And this is more old school, and I know that it's still the case, but it's probably overstated. Or the way that we think about a coach. But I'm just thinking about him addressing that locker room.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people probably don't take him seriously.
Yeah, I would.
Like, I don't take him seriously.
Do you not take him seriously because of the fact that the football team never performed, or the fact that he looks like a clown on the sideline?
I think a big part of it for me, I'm just guessing that it would be appearance. Like, I'm talking to a 12-year-old gamer here.
Well, and it's just listening to him talk. I don't know. He's just got a very unique personality, it seems like. And sometimes it's funny, but then it's also like that's funny, but thank God that's not my coach that I'm having to support. Yeah, kind of funny.
All right, let's compare the locker rooms. We're there before a game, after a game, at halftime. Dan Campbell walks in. Everybody's at attention.
Yeah.
Maybe not getting that same response with McDaniel walking in. First of all, can you find him?
Probably.
Oh, he's behind one of our linemen. There he is.
Again, obviously did a great job before Miami. I just think he needs to, and he did a good job his first 2 years in Miami, and then Tua got hurt. And
if I'm Harbaugh, man, I've been in that division in Baltimore. In Baltimore, there's lovely parts of it, but with the opportunity to go to South Florida,
are there?
Come on, yeah, there really are. You've been to Baltimore.
I know
plenty.
My family lives there.
Yeah, there are nice parts.
Yeah, there's some nice.
We went to the historic district around that school.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's some.
It kind of looks like Claremont, off of Claremont.
Yeah,
there, some of those historic homes. Mm-hmm. Really pretty area.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a Dolphins fan text me and tell me that as a Dolphins fan, he just did not inspire the fan base.
Yeah.
Or the players, just very laid back.
He was nicer than we were, or I was.
Yeah.
They creeped me out.
So I am proud of you because you're wearing the Birmingham Stallions hoodie today, but I am surprised that you are not. This is one of the most famous days in the history of Alabama football, and you are not celebrating.
Oh, and I'm not wearing my jersey.
Yeah, and you're not wearing your Tua jersey today.
I know.
January the 8th, 2018, Tua Tagovailoa to Devontae Smith in Atlanta, and Alabama shocks the world comes from behind, knocks off Georgia.
Conrad, do you consider that your first kiss with Tua?
So yes.
Do you have a backstory here to tell us?
I do. Well, kind of. Anyways, I was actually talking to my friends over the weekend, and because I turned 30, and it was so. It was take out the obvious things like getting married, things like that. Like, what is like the happiest moment of your entire life? And I'll be honest, the first thing that came to my head was that moment.
Was it really?
I'm being dead serious. Like, outside of being married to Paige and. Being married to Paige, that's probably the single greatest feel. Like, that moment is probably the single greatest moment of my life.
Can I nominate one?
Yeah.
Just as an outsider, I would say the first responders when you looked up from that cave.
Yes, in hindsight, yes. In hindsight.
Well, in hindsight, I wasn't there, but I'm
Yeah.
glad that they were.
No, yes. I guess that was a great moment. But no, seriously, like
I guess it was a great
that
moment.
was a great moment.
I guess it was. But no, seriously, out of personal
His leg bone is sticking out of his skin. He got paramedics coming down to a dark cave to save his life.
Can I
He's
nominate?
Like, that's like third or fourth.
Can I nominate fourth? Your happy moment of your life
Uh-huh.
was when you finally got that shower after Pilgrim Day.
Yeah, that was definitely up there. That was definitely up there in the top 5. But yeah, no, outside of like personal touchy-feely moments in my life.
Did you get up this
Second
morning and
26
you
is
kind of
nice.
you reflected back on that day in 2018?
That's my alarm.
Is it?
Is the Chris Fowler call of the game. I'm just kidding, Molly. That's not actually my ringtone.
No,
or
it
my
wouldn't
alarm.
surprise me though.
No.
No,
What was a great moment?
At all.
I didn't take that as a joke at all when you said
I
it.
didn't
So
either.
where were you watching the game? Were you there?
No, I wasn't at the game. I was at the Houndstooth in Tuscaloosa.
Were you?
And then the second that happened, literally the entire street filled up with thousands of people, and it was awesome.
Were you with Paige yet?
No. Nope.
So it was kind of a crazy night.
It was a great time. We had a lot of
So it was
fun celebrating the victory.